Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Don.
Morning.
Morning.
Nice to have you here. Let me get over to the page. There we go. And media and albums and come on, albums. There we go. And Saturday. All righty. Share the screen so I can just do it one time like this. Hope everybody's having a great weekend, getting ready for a great weekend. Hope folks are out taking pictures
Yeah.
because that's what we do. All right. First up is Jorge
Hello.
with his soap on cabbage.
And I just like it's the complementary color to that pink. So
The only thing is, Jorge, honestly, when the green stands out from the background like that, then it looks like a separate item.
okay.
I would put the background at something like down in here. Then it looks like the pink bar is breaking into this surface.
Okay.
Now imagine on your program, that's really easy to do.
Yeah. Actually the background was added in outside of it in Affinity. So it's not the background itself wasn't part of it originally.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can just
Yeah.
so make
piece
it
of cake.
darker.
Yep. Because now it looks like the whole thing's floating, and I think you really want it to look like it's splashing. So
All right. Cool.
yeah. See, this is cool. So you're still doing photography, I know,
Yeah.
but you're learning this, and I think this is really awesome. And I would stress this for every photographer is to step out a little bit. It's real easy for photographers to step out into video. Got it. We're all good with that. But Jorge's stepping out into CGI, essentially, right?
Yeah.
So it's computer design here. But where some computer designers don't create their own hard goods to work with, Jorge does. And Jorge is bringing a bunch of photographic knowledge to this so that instead of just moving his lights around on the virtual table, he's creating lighting that is photographic. I think it's great, dude.
Thanks.
Keep on rocking. Really nice. Somebody asked me what kind of workshop they should take. I said writing. Take a writing workshop. You need
That's the so the orange squares are the lights basically to side just straight to the side, equal power, just to highlight the sides of the bar, and then camera in the front. That's it. Very simple lighting actually.
But very photographic.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah, I'm using, like you said, I am using my photography knowledge into creating this because I mean it's the cool part is because I have a studio, essentially a virtual studio with unlimited gear. Like I can put any light I need, I can put it, I can change the shape of them, I can put an invisible light. So I could put a light, for example, in front of this bar of soap.
You can
where in real life it will be blocking the camera, but it was invisible. So
yeah, and there's nothing in here to stop you from doing bad lighting.
Yeah.
You could put a front light on this and blast it and blow it out of exposure.
Oh yeah.
Computer, go whatever you want, dude.
So, but yeah, and it's fun actually. So
good job.
One thing, like I said, I mentioned at the splash, I made it hit towards the top of the bar to get that very asymmetrical look, so that the top is wrapping around while the bottom is shooting straight down pretty much.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of dimension in this. But see, that's the photographer's eye coming into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great job.
Thank you.
How good are you at it?
I would call myself still a beginner.
Okay. When you get to the point where you think you can handle assignment work,
Mm-hmm.
you're welcome at the agency.
Okay, I've had kind of one assignment for school. Those who don't know, I'm a teacher, and my school needed some marketing material. I did a rocket pencil for them. That's the only thing I've
Yeah.
done.
I'd
The
say
lighting parts.
give it another 6 or 8 months. When somebody
Yeah.
can come to you and say, can you render this, whatever, and you think you can do it, well, you're always welcome at the agency with your photography anyway.
All
Okay.
right.
But if you want to bring if you want to bring this to it, there would be nothing stopping you from bringing this in. It doesn't have to be photography.
All right.
I'm
Cool.
hoping that
Yeah.
some of the photographers break out a little bit and bring a little bit of graphic design and a little bit of other things, because it's a great deal of work to be done out there. Nicely done.
Well, here in Siem Reap, I mean, there's the unspoken rule that everyone has 2 jobs, except now because of COVID. But we all have at least 2. We do at least 2 things, so it's kind of part of it. It's just I can't just be a photographer here.
No.
It would not work. So I have to do this. I have to learn some basic web design, just about everything.
There's some great graphic design courses at Domestika. They're cheap.
Okay.
Yeah. If you need send me a note and I'll turn you on to a couple.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Rick, dial soap, boy, right from the back. That's exactly what I envision in my head when I give the assignment. The splash is coming from the back. It's a unique look when the splash comes from the back. It's not the same as splashing on the side or dropping into something. This is unique. Really nice, man.
Thank you.
Really nice. Now, did you warp any of this splash?
A little bit that on the right-hand side that.
Right here?
No, there's that tail up there. I worked
All
it
right.
back towards center a little bit.
Yeah. No, this is
Rest.
solid. Look at your horizon line. Solid.
Well, I've heard you say it enough times, Don, so it's starting to click in.
My goal is to know that when I die, my voice will live on in hundreds of people.
I go to bed thinking horizon lines now.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's a perfect choice. Look, you got it right under. You got the lime in the right spot. Color looks good. What did you do in Photoshop other than a little warping?
Well, there was 2 splashes blended,
Mm-hmm.
and then a little brightening of the fruity part of the lemon, or lime rather.
Okay.
And then touching up the white, the dial, and then the color of that leaf in the water on the logo there, or on the label. I
Nice.
use a combination. Sometimes it's Vivesa, and then sometimes I use, I often find I use Greg Ben's Lumenzia pen, which is very targeted. I find it excellent for product photography to just highlight. So different areas, work on different areas, basically a zone system, right?
Uh-huh.
And that really works well as well. A lot of control.
Excellent.
And
who did
then
you say
maybe
who's-
just a little bit of a mixer brush to
Whose tool are you using?
Greg Benz, his Lumenzia panel.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's a great tool. And
Yeah. I use a plugin, the luminosity masking.
yeah, well, that's what Greg says, that Lumenzia is. He's got a free version, and then there's a paid version he calls Lumenzia, which is just a lot more. But it was a one-time purchase, I want to say about 6 years ago.
Yep.
And he continues to send updates at no cost. I mean, it's amazing.
It's a really when you start to understand luminance masking and what you can do with it, it's just astounding.
It is, yeah, a lot of control, fine control on anything and everything. Colors
Really
to
fine
luminosity.
control. All right, 8200 through a scrim, speed light through a second scrim. Nicely balanced, by the way. Your highlights look great.
Yeah,
Solid shot, Matt.
and then the speed lights through the back. I'd already started to rip down when I realized I hadn't taken a photo. So that plastic was spread out a little bit more, but
Okay, so you got a speed light right behind the bottle.
no, it's actually behind that scrim.
Yeah, I know, but behind the
I'm
bottle.
yeah, I'm shooting through. Yep.
Really cool. Good, good.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Giannis.
Hello.
Hi. Boy, that you caught that. I mean, not only is the splash from behind, but your bottle's elevated. Not bad. Great highlights on both sides of the bottle. The label looks good. The cap and detail look good. If you're thinking about putting this in your portfolio, okay, and I would definitely think about putting it in your portfolio, I'd take out any of the bubbles. I'll leave that one there, but take out these little guys, maybe leave that one, take that one out. Any of them that are over type, take those off. Let this one be on the side, that's okay. And this one coming up into it, that gives it a little bit of momentum. But by taking it off the cover, you kind of quietly let the art director know that you're in control of that label. Okay.
Okay.
Blue against the gray looks good. The water is nicely done. A little bit of blur in the water, but I think the blur adds a little bit of pop
Movement.
to the image.
Uh,
How did you do it, Giannis?
it's on the PDS.
Uh-huh. All right. I like it. Did you warp this around or did it?
No. It's just
how it happened?
the two blend. Yeah, two blended images just for the splash, the left and
Yeah.
the right one. I did
Really
nothing
nice.
else.
Really nice. Nice. I love the little drop coming off. The fact that you suspend it, it gives it a little bit of extra tension. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Damn. Should have you guys teach the class. Look at this. Jason. This looks otherworldly.
Thanks.
Yeah. Where is it looks to me like the splash is warping around it. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, it's coming from behind.
And just spilling over, huh?
Yeah, in fact, as I'm looking at this now, I realize I probably cheated by using an apple and not a product. But I wanted a round object.
Apple's a
'cause-
product.
I was just going to say, there's some guy up in Washington State right now going, "What are you saying about my apples?"
There's no type on it though.
Bastard.
But it was a round object, and I thought it would be interesting to photograph it as the water wrapped around a round object as opposed to just a cylinder. I did
how did
play
you
around with the can as well, but
How did you get the water to the apple? Is this a special, I mean, did you create a delivery system to get it to do that? Or are you just tossing it out of a cup or?
yeah, small cup. It turns out like it wasn't a Dixie cup, but something like that, little jam jar,
Mhm.
and not very much. And it's interesting when you're shooting alone. I had controlling my camera with my phone. I'm doing burst mode, so it's continuously firing. And I've got a bottle of water in one hand and a cup in the other. I'm throwing a lot of water at that apple. And I'm throwing away, I don't know, 80% of the shots. This is all one shot. So I got about sort of 5 or 6 really good ones, but I really
There you
liked this
go.
one.
Yeah. Well, throwing away 80% is just par for the course on this stuff.
Yeah, not
Oh,
really
yeah.
a film thing, right?
What's that?
Not really something you want to do on film.
Oh, I did 2 splash shots in my career, 2 splash shots on film, 8x10, both of them.
Wow.
A client, you have to have a client who's willing to spend money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we also practiced quite heavily with 2 1/4 Polaroid. I think we had like 6 packs of Polaroid that we went through on 2 1/4 to try to get that finger, because we used shutter releases, right? to try
Yeah.
to get that visual moment and the shutter release to go off at the same time. So when we got to 8x10, we shot 20 sheets, and I think I got 3 or 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But we didn't have durations like this. You know, our Norman 2000 is not going to give you I think the shortest duration you could get on that thing was like a 3/20th or something like that, maybe a 800th. That would be it. So big capacitors. All these
Well,
new toys that we have give us new ways of shooting. Yeah.
yeah. Well, it was interesting because I tried a can, but I tried it with continuous light, and it's in my behind the scenes thing,
Mhm.
and shooting video slow motion, and then trying to do the math on and then changing your shutter speed to like 1/4000,
Mhm.
and then pouring a whole pile of light in. So it was same setup,
Yeah.
just swap the speed light out for a continuous tone light, and just yeah, it's just a different way
Yeah,
of
and
doing it. It was fun.
that's another wonderful thing that digital has given us, because back in the day, we didn't have 1/4000th of a second on a camera. I think the F5 finally came out with the F with 1/4000th, but I may be wrong on that.
Yeah, yeah.
Really nice.
Thanks.
Should be proud of it. Ooh, so delicate. Oh, I saw this on Facebook, Rainey. I thought this was so delicate, and all that negative space.
Thank you.
It's like a
Yeah,
little, it's
the
like a
negative
jewel.
space, I wasn't sure. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was too much, but then I thought, well, leave space for ad copy or whatever.
Well, can't you just see an ad with like 2 words up here, bum, 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 and a little paragraph down here, narrow spaced paragraph down here, and then
Yeah,
your stuff across the bottom like that. What a great ad!
yeah,
Let it breathe like that, and the water against that gray looks uh, like silver.
yeah. Yeah, I really wanted something that I could add against my portfolio that showed, that I can do, not just close up stuff, but, things that can go for a layout too.
You were in Project 52, right?
I was, yeah, a while back. And none of my work in Project 52, I mean, I've obviously improved tremendously since then, but that was like my jump start on,
Well, you saw
figuring everything out.
you saw the agency post, right?
Yes, I did. I have to look at it more and figure out
Yeah.
what's needed, because I don't really have that much for my portfolio, because I just recently decided I was going to take
Well,
photography
yeah,
a little more
and
seriously.
no rush, no push when you're, but it gives you something to shoot for.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
So I'm using this to kind of build my portfolio and then going from there.
Excellent. Excellent. A big set for a little bottle.
Yeah. And you know what I did find? I found for the splashes, the container that you're using to throw the splash made a huge difference on the shape of the splash that was coming out. So I tried, like you can see that little cup there on the side there. I tried a cup. I tried like a measuring cup that had like the point, so you could get more of a pointage stream coming out. And then I used one of those bento boxes, the to-go containers,
Uh-huh.
and that produced like a really bizarre looking splash. But
Oh, yeah, and you
but
got-
each one did something different,
Yeah, and then you got the pressurized things like a turkey baster,
Yeah.
or even a squirt gun,
Yeah. Yeah.
which of course squirt gun maybe knock it off the pedestal, so you'd have to mount it, but so many different variations. Yeah, you're right. And the size of the cup that you throw it from can make, whether it's a tiny narrow one or a larger, like a coffee cup or something. Yeah, really nicely done.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. David Hayden cleaned up that label really nice here, David. Is David here? David. Well,
He
David.
did
cleaned
say
up-
he won't be around.
Oh, that's right. David, you did a good job cleaning up this label with the splash from behind and the blue in it. Looks very good, sir. That's how he did it. Boy, look at all the work. Look at the work. Wow. EJ,
Hey, good
J-
morning.
hi, how are you?
Okay.
So what is happening here?
Well, I did a shot, but I was trying to introduce smoke into my background. So I used my little fog machine and then put a gel above it and try to get the fog to light up, you know. But then when I tried to put the splashes in, I didn't do the splashing with the fog. So when I tried to composite it, it started taking some of my smoke out. But then I ran out of time to try to do it again. So I just had to make it look the best I could.
Ah, okay. I'd love to see you make this work. I think you got something. I think you got a great idea here. You got to backlight that water.
Yeah, let me think. I had a light. Well, I can't remember my setup. I have to go back. I think I had a light from the back left and then one from a scrim on the right side, looking at it forward. So it was camera right.
Yeah, I got one over here. I got something
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you've
should
got
have
them.
had,
Go ahead.
I should have had the smoke going while I was throwing water. And then when I blended the right side with the left side, it wouldn't have taken the smoke out.
Yeah. The you've got the highlights in the right position. You can let the bottle go dark because you're going to put the fire around the back. So
Yeah.
that's looking good. Looks to me like you got them over here. I don't see anything on the top here that would indicate that you had a top backlight, but you've got to get, I would say, because you got the water coming up in front of the fire, right?
Yeah.
Get your table, you've got your background wherever your fire is going to be, and light your water from back here with like a speed light with a split gel, orange and red, right?
Okay.
And then when your water comes up, you're going to hit the water with light that's coming from below. In other words, the fire lighting up the water.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. It
And
does make sense.
also get this thing back to the edge. We want the horizon to be there on this bottle. This horizon here just doesn't do anything for this bottle, especially with all that silver foil down there. We got to get that against the background so the whole bottle looks consistent. Having the horizon back here kind of cuts the bottle. When you do that, it's going to be easier for you to get that water to come right up on it.
Okay.
I would probably try some sort of forced, like a turkey baster or something, throwing it up to the back
Yeah.
of the thing.
I was using this little bottle here, trying to squirt out the top of it.
Uh-huh.
And I wasn't, at first I tried to throw the water and I kept missing, like everybody else does. And then I tried to do something a little bit more controlled. It didn't give me as much water as I wanted, but I was just kind of ran out of time working with it after that point.
And are you doing it yourself?
Yeah, later in the evening, I had my wife helping me. But
Oh,
she
okay,
got
good,
tired of
'cause-
helping me.
You guys know when you're doing it by yourself, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Catherine. Wow, Catherine, are you here? You are here.
Yeah, I'm
Love
here.
your angle. Love your shooting up angle. Really nice.
Yeah, I couldn't get the wording on the top of the can distinct no matter how I shot it. So there's just not enough contrast between the two colors along with the curve. So I decided to just let that go.
Yeah.
And I brought it out as well as I could in Photoshop. So what would you do there?
Okay, so you got your bottle looks something like this, right?
Yeah,
And you're shooting this edge, right? That
yeah.
little edge here. And you're shooting from kind of an angle like this, right?
Yeah,
Angle of incidence, angle of reflection. Your white card would have had to be way up here
yeah,
for that to see it.
yeah.
And that's what I would have done. And the way to find that is to put a piece of white, bright white paper on a selfie stick or something, look through the camera and move it around until you see it go, oh, there it is. It's right there. You'll see it. That's where
Okay.
you put your white card. Yeah, you can fix that.
Okay.
It's just that this is a matter of you needed a white card where you never would have imagined you needed a white card because it would
Okay.
have not made any sense other than that relationship, relationship. Your splash is a
Okay.
little blurry, but I think it looks fun. It's all blurred in motion. So nothing wrong with that. What is your background?
My background was a speed light with a blue gel through a shower curtain that I had my f-stop at 22, so that ended up with a lot of wrinkles and spots and stuff. So I just used a mixer brush with some pink on it
Sure,
in Photoshop and painted it.
sure. I don't know how big your studio is, but the way to get it is to get your table here that you're shooting on and put your background here. So that
Yeah.
even at f16, it's out of focus. But, you know, like I say, no photographer ever is going to say my studio is too long. It won't
Yeah.
happen.
I was so tired by the time I figured out all the other things I could have done that I just said, I've learned a lot. I'll try it next time.
There you go. Yeah, that's, you chose it. You know, it's like you went to the store and said, what's the hardest damn can I can shoot? I know, I'll shoot the one with all the metallic paint on it. That'll make it fun.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you chose a really hard can. You chose a splash from the back. You're working by yourself. Am I right?
Yep.
So you're splashing and shooting with a remote or your phone or
My
whatever.
phone. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you did a really good job, and you did learn a lot, and you will go back and do this shot or something similar to it, and it'll even be better because of everything you struggled through to get it to here.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Good.
Thank you.
Don,
Yes, sir.
question.
Yeah.
Don, it's Rick. Question on that, on this Catherine shot.
Mhm.
Discussion on the angle of incidence to reflection to catch that text up on the top.
Yeah.
I totally agreed. Absolutely. But the struggle there sometimes though is whatever you put up there, because that it's a can and it's curved,
Mhm.
you start bringing up some letters, but you can still lose it because the angles change
Yeah,
quick.
yes, no, you're absolutely right. So you have this round bottle here, and if you put up and the camera's coming from here, okay, slightly up. So you put that card up here, 2 foot by 3 foot card, it's going to get that little bit right there, right?
Yeah.
But it's not going to get that.
Right.
So the answer is it's not a 2 foot by 3 foot card. It's a 2 foot by 9 foot card. Or 3 of them put together, wrapping around. Or,
Yeah, because that's
or-
always the challenge. So you're saying you just got to get the bigger card to give you all the angles in there.
that's old school. Absolutely. And I'm fine with old school. That's old school. New school would say, take a card, bring it right over here outside a camera so you can see it, do that shot, then do that shot, and then do that shot, and then take those letters and lift them off and put them here.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then it's multiple composites then.
Sure. Absolutely. Digital gives us that option. And I don't want people to think, oh, well, that's cheating. There's no cheating in photography. None. It's what we have to do to get the image. No, there'd be nothing wrong with that at all. Many beer can shot is done exactly that way. They go in not trying to get it in one shot. They know they're going to use 5 or 6 or 15 different little shots of it and then piece it together. Absolutely.
Hey Don,
Yeah.
isn't the old rule when you're shooting something shiny, you actually light the ones that are reflecting on it instead of the subject itself?
Yeah. That's what a white card is. It's a bright something for this to reflect.
Right, so in this case, it has to be an absolute, like a coffin light, right? Something really large.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
I don't think it has to be another softbox. It has to be a card. And if it's a 2 foot by 3 foot card, as long as it, the other thing, Matt, too, we could actually bring that card in like this, couldn't we? Right into the picture.
Right.
Snap it, and then just, we've got 2 pictures, just take this card and get rid of it on that layer. Just cut it out and it's gone, and it just blends with the background because we haven't moved the camera. Camera remains, so. Or with that shot, just grab that little part of the can, drag it over here, and then blend the edges if you need to.
Or make a half cone card.
Or what?
A what?
Or make a half cone card, like
Yeah, you could
Napoleon.
yeah, you could, in other words, he's
Wow.
saying you could take the can is round. You got your
Yeah.
camera here. You could take the card and do this with it.
Yeah, that's much better. Yes.
That's hard to do with foam core. Foam core won't bend. Trust me, I know. And also, by the way, you can't spray paint foam core. Who's tried to spray paint foam core? Kevin?
No,
Have you-
well,
no?
yeah, I did, but it doesn't work.
No. It sort of
I've
melts
tried
right in
it and
front of
it
your eyes.
goes horribly.
Yeah, it sort of melts right in front of your eyes. You go, whoa, what was that?
Yeah.
All right, Kevin. Vitamin water up in the air.
Yeah, this was my 3rd attempt, or 3 different things. And I don't know. It's like, everybody says it's really hard to throw water and fire your camera at the same time.
Yep. And I think Kevin, you got to get more backlight on that water.
Yeah.
Yep. If you're going to shoot water, Kevin, honestly, I don't think white is your background.
No, I was gonna put a yellow filter on that, and I just didn't have the room to put up another light with the
Yeah.
gel.
Yeah.
So,
I see it's back, so it's not going pure white. But maybe it could have gone back. Yeah, it doesn't, looks like you got it. No, it looks like you get it another 2 or 3 feet back.
yeah, no,
That would gray it down a little bit. I see.
there's a big office thing it's right up against that.
Okay.
So I can't move the backdrop anymore. But anyway, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, good. Well, if you had to do it again, would it be better?
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, this was my 3rd attempt, my 3rd different product that I shot this week. And I just had to go with what I had.
All right.
So,
Very good. Now the other thing I was going to say, I'm not, is this where the label looks the best? Is this, that
right
is
in
the-
between those. I mean,
that is the label, isn't it? This
yeah,
black.
and then right to the other side of where it says vitamin water, there's a big seam coming down.
Yeah.
On both sides. So this,
Yeah. Okay. So that really is the label.
that is the label.
Yeah. Cool. Axe. Mark Shaw.
Can't stay away from it, Don.
All right, Mark, look at that. Splash looks like diamonds, crystal coming in here. Nice. And man, that's frozen tight, isn't it?
I tried using my strobe. It didn't work. Then I tried using the speed light in about 1/32 power, and it was so dark I couldn't see anything. So finally I went to 1/8 power, and that was the sweet spot for me.
Okay. Yeah, 1/8 power should be pretty short. Looks like it froze all this in here pretty well. These little spots aren't streaks, they're spots. How did you, is this your behind the scenes here?
That's one of them. If you click to the next one, you'll see the main one. Yeah,
Okay.
that's how I threw the water. And then if you go back, the other one just shows how I shot the bottle. Yeah.
Can I ask, why did he use such a low ISO?
I find I don't need to really go high, Mildred. I think for the splashes, I went to about 200 ISO, but when I'm just shooting the bottle, I find 64 works nicely. And that's the native ISO on the camera.
But to freeze the splashes, if you keep going up on, I guess is how I understand it. If you keep going up on power on there, then you have movement. It won't freeze it as much. I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah, what she's saying is you could have had your ISO on 200 and been at 132nd on your strobe. Because you're
Yeah,
at
and it was
here.
at 132nd. I still didn't get the results I wanted. So
Did you move your ISO?
yes, I did. For the splashes, I did. Yes.
Huh. Oh, it should have worked. Should look pretty much just like this. You're at 64 to, let's see, well, oh, you're at 64.
Actually, wait a minute. I'm wrong. For
100,
the splashes,
200.
it was. I'm just looking at my notes here, Don. For the splashes, I was at ISO 400.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes more sense. Yeah. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, I would shoot any product that's anything that's not moving. I would try to go the lowest ISO I could get. I know that everybody's got cameras, including me, that's got cameras that make perfectly noiseless pictures at ISO 200 and 400. It's just a habit to have it. And if you haven't checked out that new Pure Raw from DxO, if you haven't checked it out, do yourself a favor and check it out. Seriously. It has saved at least 2 shoots of mine are now something that I can't wait to reprint just because of what I found out with that. This looks really good, Kevin. Your lighting looks good. What is it? This is the strobe this is what you use for the bottle.
Yep. That's
And
just
what-
parchment paper over the reflector.
Okay. Through a scrim?
Yep.
Yeah. Good job, Mark.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Judy Hernandez.
Hi, Dawn.
Hi, look at that. I like your composition.
Thank you.
It's coming up over here. And then these things actually leading off the page there. Nice. Highlight looks good here. Label looks good. You got drops up here,
Yeah,
but there doesn't look to be very many drops in here.
no,
All right.
that's a composite. The bottle was separate from the splash. And I did that because the bottle in the splash had a weird highlight I couldn't get rid of. And when I, pulled up the shadows, the bottle looked good, but the highlight also looked worse. So
Okay.
I just took a different shot of the bottle or the tube afterwards, and then I put it in Photoshop. But what bothers me, you've been talking about the background, and I don't know if you can see it so much on the computer. I see it more on my phone. That background, that white background, isn't the whitest of backgrounds. And I can see the texture of the fabric coming through because the backside of that background is black. And then I made a mistake using that. And then when I tried foam core, of course I got a cleaner background, but then I couldn't get a splash to save my life. And I didn't know how to transfer all that, the bottle, the tube, and the water on a whole nother background. I didn't know if I could cut it out the way I've done before cleanly.
It's
with all the
really,
little speckles.
cutting out splashes is
A nightmare, I would think.
definitely something you want to have a nice meal, go sit down because you're not going to get up for a while.
Yeah.
And then what do you do about the transparency? So you just ended up shooting this on white?
Yeah, if you look at the behind the scenes,
Okay.
that big white thing. But that backside is black and that side is white. And like I said, it's not the whitest of whites. And that's as far back as I can go in terms of distance. The wall is there. And I tried, if you see that light with the reflector on it, I put that there because, well, number one, the water was going to get it when I was low and right in front of it. So I had that on 1/8 power to make it as bright as I could, but I knew at 1/8 power, that was my trigger source. It would not recycle fast enough to get to trigger the other two. So it pretty much had to do it. I usually use burst mode, but that wasn't working because it wouldn't recycle fast enough. So it had to be on that first, shot.
So this is triggering this flash?
Yeah, and the other one, the little one on the. So there's 3 flashes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So anyway.
Aim your flash body where the slave is.
Uh-huh.
Aim it at your strobe and twist your head to where you want it to be.
Okay.
You'll get fewer misfires.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah,
I
cool.
didn't know
Hey, Don, Judith, if I may, the issue of the white background, another option I think for Judith would have you had, I don't know if you have them, but another speed lighter or probably one, is just put it near that background and blast out that make that background actually white.
Right. I only have the 3. And when I try using a continuous, it doesn't do anything.
No, continuous won't do it.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Those are only 3 I have at this point. So I figure I just have to do what I can do with what I've got. That's what I came up with.
Yeah, I think you did a good job.
Thanks. Yeah, I would have liked to have a speed light on that left side too, but I didn't have one. So I put that white reflector there.
Yeah, well, that's fine. The lighting on your product is not an issue. It looks good.
Yeah, it's
In fact, there's nothing on this image that looks bad.
Yeah, it's just
at
the
all.
background that bugs me.
Yeah, these are shadows, right? You do have that front light.
Right.
So you're throwing a shadow of the spray onto the background, which could or could not be okay, right? It just depends on your style of shooting. Shadows are not necessarily bad. If you want to get it clean, that light coming back really clean, well, like you said, you don't have another speed light, but you could take this light and put it up into the ceiling right here.
Oh, uh-huh.
And I think it would accomplish 2 things. It would light this back up
Yeah.
quite a bit, and it would give you the ambient you needed.
Okay. Yeah, I tried using a shallower, f-stop, so it wouldn't pick up that background as much. But then, and I was lucky enough to get some good splashes, but then when I put them together, I had a nice background, but then a very soft image.
Yeah.
So I had to go with F8 to hopefully not get too much of that background, that, fabric.
Right. Looks like you could come this way with your set a little bit. Maybe not.
But yeah, not much. Not much. That looks like there's more there than there is. It's a
Yeah.
very small room. It's just like, what, 10 by 12?
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of work can be done in a 10 by 12 room. It's surprising, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
You bet. And Glenn or Dean.
Hi, Don.
Hi, Dean. We've got a tube delivering the water here and the lemon and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was trying to get a fun shot in the sense of product comes down a water slide style vision. That was the idea of it.
I don't think you're there yet, but I think your concept is right on. It looks to me like you're getting some flare. Is that flare that I'm seeing?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm putting the speed light down the tube.
Right. We got to work out the flare. Have to work out the flare. Where is the camera flaring from? Let's look at your behind the scenes. That might tell us. Okay, so you really are shooting straight into that light.
Yeah.
All right. What if you blocked off the shot with black cards? Not here, but up by the shot with a black card here and a black card. I don't know if you need one over here, but this is where you're probably getting your flare from, right in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would block it off there or halfway back to the camera so that when you're looking through the camera, you can't see the black card, but the black card is going to, if you were standing by the strobe, you couldn't see the camera lens.
Right.
I'd try that because I think you got something going here. This is pretty darn cool. And the flare is causing us to miss the fact that your water is swirling up the side of this thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Is this still set up, Dean?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Get those cards in there and just make this shot work. All right. Those cards can be white cards, by the way. They don't have to be black cards. Because I'm thinking if we put black cards there, we could really darken this up a little bit. And I don't want to do that. When I look at your set here, you have a light coming down from the top?
Yeah.
But there's no light on the can.
No, well, I took that separately as a composite. So.
Okay. Yeah, we need to get that can to be punchier. In fact, I can deal with the flare back here, fine. But that can has got to be punchier. In other words, it's a black can and it's just gray here. And the white splashes are like a light gray rather than the colors they have to be. I'd go back to your can shot, which is separate. Go back to your can shot and see if you can get more contrast out of it. Maybe that's all we need to do is get the contrast up on it.
Yep. All right.
Don, what if he would have used some gels instead of just the white flash? Would that have done something different?
Well, I don't think so because he said the can is separate. So I think we do have flare. I mean, if you're going to use a gel, you're still going to get flare. But I think the blue gel may have altered the color of the lemon. We had blue to yellow, we end up with sort of a green. So I don't know. Could work. There could be a case made for some gels in here. But
I really like that. I think you did an awesome job. I like that concept on that.
Yeah, this is a hell of an idea, Dean. Man, you gotta get this to work. Is this lemon like stuck on something?
Yeah, if you go back to the shot, it's actually I've just got to use a drill bit in the back of it and
a
couple of clamps. You see those clamps in the back there?
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. You really got a great idea going here. You got to finish it out and make it work. You'll have a stellar shot.
Okay.
All right. Very good. Carrie Moore. Wow.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. That is it Carrie or Carl?
Carl.
That is a very strange photograph. Really interesting.
Yeah, I was trying to do the backsplash, but I was kind of trying to get it from the side because I didn't want to get the camera lens wet. So I just like the way this one looked more than the other one. So I used this one. But I did a lot with like bright field lighting. But for some reason, I thought the splashes looked messy. So I switched, I put a black foam core.
Yep.
Which got totally like soggy. So if I do this in the future, I'm going to use the plexiglass, I think, buy plexiglass for this. But yeah, the black I thought looked a lot nicer.
I think so. And your dark field lighting is doing a great job with the bottle. Obviously, I'm going to say, well, to me, this is the same splash reversed.
It is, yeah.
You've just gone in and edited this side so it's not quite as perfect as this side, right?
Well, in Photoshop, I took out a little bit of there was too much. So I took out a little bit of it, and then I flipped the photo horizontal so I could get it almost like an ink blot test, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like an ink blot. You took out this one, took that out over there. You took that out over there. And
Oh,
then-
actually, no, there was more. I mean, there was more of that I took out. I meant to get it like completely symmetrical, but I just did it quickly. I used the object selection tool, and it didn't grab all of it. So
Okay,
I just
so it
like,
didn't grab your little bridge over here. It didn't grab it.
yeah, that's what happened. I mean, I
Sure.
could go and make it more symmetrical if I want, but I guess I don't know. I thought it looked fine.
Yeah, I would definitely just get one of them cut out and add it to a new layer. And yeah, this is very,
Yeah.
very cool. Good
I
job.
could select it again. Yeah, maybe I will work on it and get it like perfectly symmetrical on both sides.
Yeah, I think I think this symmetrical could be very cool. Look at it, and then pin it up and look at it the next day after you've done it. Make a print, pull it up. Because if it's too symmetrical, it may start looking like an illustration, right?
Yeah.
So before you start cutting things out, grab the warp tool.
Okay.
And if you just took one of these and warped it just a little bit, more of a little rounding corner over here, or something like that, just to make it a tiny bit off, it may have more organic look to it.
Okay.
Possible. Anyway,
Thanks.
definitely possible. Yeah, good shot. Nicely. Is this your background? Is this your?
I did it outside.
Okay.
And then, yeah, that was, I don't know why, those speed lights were barely doing anything. I just put them there just to, I don't know. I see it on the right, you could see it a little bit on the right top. That's basically all they did.
Got it.
On the bottle. But yeah, I think it's like 95% sunlight for that photo.
All right. Very good. Guys are very creative folks. Love being around all this creativity. Ooh, that looks like a water tent around the Malibu spray. Hey, Patricia.
Hey.
Your bottle looks good. I'm not terribly crazy about that highlight right there, but I'd probably take that out. I think you have a light going off right in front of this bottle. Am I right?
I had to put a light in the front because it was too dark. I don't know if you actually can see it in that. There was a little tiny, like a small continuous light that you put on top of the hot shoe for the camera. It's only a tiny one. And I put some paper in front of that just to diffuse it a bit. But otherwise, the Malibu thing wasn't coming up at all. But I really struggled with this.
Yeah, there's
this
no
week with all the highlights of. I thought glass was hard until I started trying to photograph this plastic,
and-
white plastic bottle.
Yeah, and don't worry about these. Just take them out in Photoshop. It's not the light that is a problem. It's the highlight. It's that tiny little highlight. It's a giveaway. We don't have it up here. We got a little one here, but that looks good, right?
Yeah.
That one looks good. It's just when it's on the bottle like that, it just becomes a little bit of a tell. Oh, there's a light up front, and there's not really supposed to be in our brain. So I would just simply go in Photoshop, take that out. Photographers do it all the time.
Yeah, as I say, I struggle quite a
Make
bit with
speed
this.
light, and then you got to get rid of that highlight. I get right there, take care of that one too. And you'll never even know it was there.
No, I could probably do that. I think I just struggled with it so much. I was at the end of my tether when I got finished with it. And I just said, I either got to put this in or it won't go in at all. So.
Okay, so black cards here. So, okay, white, dark field lighting.
Yeah, I tried to do, I don't know whether it's white field light. I tried to put the lights in the front, but I really had so much reflections. I was trying to get away from backlighting. because I'd done backlighting the last 2 weeks.
Well, this is backlighting. If you're going to use dark field lighting, it is backlighting.
No, that's what before I ended up doing this, I struggled
okay.
so
Gotcha.
much with the reflections on the white bottle. I was trying to put them at the side and towards the front, but I really struggled. And then I ended up saying, oh, I can't do this.
Well, let me show you how you can make this. You can, if you wanted to redo this, you make it perfect. Oh, what did I do? Click the wrong back button. Come on. Come on.
I'm glad it's not just me that does that.
Yeah, I get crazy with this. Okay, so your field of view of this bottle is about what? Looks about like there. Can't really see the black. It's against black. So it's not very wide, right?
No,
no. Look at your picture, right? Let's go back and look at this. And we've got all this space over here. The reason all this space is here is why your card is, your foreground is dark on the bottle. So let's cut a piece of white foam core and make it go like this and down and over and up and over and down, and we shoot through there.
Okay.
This white foam core will get all of this white coming back and light that bottle perfectly. I like to put the stretch across the top because the stretch across the top is going to help you light that.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. That'll work. That'll do it for you. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
And you leave your black cards exactly where they are because they're doing the job they're supposed to do.
I just struggled so much with all the white. I just had to give up because I was getting so many highlights and reflections of everything under the sun. I just gave up and that's not working.
Okay. When it's not working, do a shot of your set, stick it up on Facebook and tag me and also say, this is the shot I'm getting. This is my setup. What can I do?
Okay, yeah, I'm not that used to Facebook and all that kind of crack, so yeah, but thank you, I will.
Yeah, don't hesitate to tag me. I'll come in and I would have given you the same advice that I just gave you, and you would have had a different shot. Okay?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Thank you for that.
You bet. You bet. Marjorie Decker.
Hi, Don.
Hi, Marjorie. What is going on here?
This is my frustration shot. I should have listened to what you just said. Tag you on Facebook saying, this is what I'm trying to do. And yeah, but I decided to take mine outside and it was hard to light outside on a can. You know,
yeah, you know, just because it's outside doesn't mean you don't take the white cards and the diffusers and everything else.
Yeah.
Shooting outside can be just as rigorous as shooting in the studio. Absolutely. Looks like the can looks pretty good though. Your water is hiding the can. So from that standpoint, now trust me, there was a Coors ad that ran 15, 20 years ago. They took them all. They were all hidden by the water. They were sticking them in creeks and stuff like that. So it's been done. So it doesn't mean that you could never do this. Not at all. Not at all. You guys remember that when they have the Coors cans hanging from like a side of a fishing boat and the water be pouring over them? Yeah, not a problem. It's been done. So, all right. So did you light it at all, or is it just pure?
I did. No, I lit it. There's a behind the scenes, but I think it's separated from the photo. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a little speed light on the ground to try to light up the water. So
where is the speed light? Over here?
Yeah, right there. Right there.
Okay. So you're backlighting the water. And what are you using a hose? Garden hose?
Yes. Yes.
Did you do any where the hose was hitting the back of the can rather than the side of the can?
Correct.
Did you do any of those?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
I'd like to see
that.
I think that would.
Yeah, but then I didn't like the way the can looked when you see the water coming in and I know I could have taken both of them into Photoshop but I was trying to do all one shot. Yeah, so,
Well, you know, this works. I'm not crazy about your brown background because I don't know if the brown helps the red.
oh, okay.
Really not. I think that
Okay.
that this can with all the gold and stuff in it needs we got gold, we got red, and we got sort of a yellow up here. That's more gold and everything. We need a cool backdrop, you know, a blue or a soft green or something to make it stand out.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
Very good. Very good. Oh, I'm glad you took your stuff outside. Good for you. Where is this that you?
This is at my place in the front.
I know, but I mean, where are you?
Oh, North Carolina.
Oh, okay. So you didn't get hit with snow, huh?
No, no. It's cold here though. It's been cold these past couple of days.
Yeah, on Wednesday, everybody on the shows Wednesday was going, it's snowing outside. Nicely done. All right, Arnold, tell us about your amaretto shot if you can. Is Arnold here? I imagine that Arnold can, and I know he's going to be somewhere where he wouldn't be allowed to talk. All right, Arnold, we will come back. It looks good. Love whatever you're using for the amaretto looks good, and your label looks very, very good. Really good. Clean light. Oh, look at that. Nice. Nice. Look at the strip lights coming down. Really nice. Oh, Josh.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Is that paint dry?
That's not even paint. That's water with flour in it and then food coloring.
Okay.
But
how much flour?
I don't know. I just kept putting it in until it looked right. So I didn't I should probably pay attention, but I didn't so much. I think I got a little bit too much though, because in some of the places where the liquid gets thinner, you can kind of see the flour in it.
Oh, that's easy. Yeah, I've retouched that out.
Yeah, I
Check
just
that
didn't
out.
have time to.
Now, is that actually a splash we're seeing?
Yep, that's a real splash.
Oh, hell, that's cool.
Yeah, I got lucky
Yeah,
on that one.
I would go in there, spend a little time in Photoshop, get rid of I see a little grain in here. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, easy. Just get everything to look like this, you know? That would be really, really cool. Is this one shot or is that a separate shot?
That's 3 shots, the bottle and then 2 different splashes.
Great. So the splash actually exists on a different layer.
Right.
Yeah, super easy cleanup.
Yeah.
Do you know the frequency separation way of cleaning up stuff?
No.
Where's that link? Does anybody remember? Was it on last week's assignment? All right, dang it. Hold on. We'll get it. We'll get it. For those of you who don't know it, we're going to get it for you right now. I'm not going to. I spend time trying to rack my brain as though I'm some sort of YouTube database. I don't need YouTube. I need frequency separation products right here. Here it is. All right.
This episode we'll be covering 3 uncommon but extremely useful.
Thank you very much for that. Copy. I'm going to take it over here. All right. This YouTube that you see in front of you will explain how to use it. And then down here, you can grab the action. So it'll actually run the action for you. Doing it is easy. Trying to remember which layer you're supposed to make before the other, that'll drive you nuts. The action actually makes it for you. So watch him do it, and then you'll be able to clean that up in a heartbeat.
That is awesome.
Yeah, That'd be very cool. Very cool. The other thing is, since it's on another layer, you can just colorize it. You could make
Oh
it
yeah, I never
blue,
thought of that.
yellow. You could do anything you want with it. Make
Yeah,
it,
you can make it whatever color you wanted.
yep. Very cool. Good job.
Thank you.
Very good job. Josh. Oh, that was,
Very.
that was you right there.
Yep, that was me.
Don,
Don, sorry, before we can, the question for Josh, if we can. I was interested in the cleanup. Worse, easier than straight up paint, Josh?
I assume easier because, well, first of all, it's way cheaper to use flour and water than buying paint because I had like 64 ounces of that mixed up and went through like all of it to get a really good splash. But I mean, the nice thing about that is if you have plastic down and then you let it dry overnight where it's spilled over your container, it becomes like flaky and not wet. So you can just roll it up and then it doesn't get all over the place.
Good, thanks. This,
What?
Giannis introduced us to this mixture last week.
Yeah.
So you didn't actually throw it at the container, you just splashed it on a surface?
No, I threw it at the container.
Oh,
But I
okay.
shot the bottle first, so it was nice and clean. And then I didn't even use the bottle that got the picture of the bottle where the bottle's getting hit. I didn't even use that bottle. I used my clean bottle in
Okay.
place of that one.
Okay, gotcha.
How did you get behind it to throw the sponge?
If you look at the setup shot, it's suspended in the air, and then I'm
Right.
below the frame, throwing it kind of up at an angle from behind.
So you're
I mean,
below.
yeah,
so
I'm
you're
below it.
The actual bottle, tossing it. So there's that much room there below the frame?
There is if you
I mean,
crouch down.
between where you're standing and the background.
That's like 3 or 4 feet, I think.
Oh, really? It's hard to tell
But
from
like,
looking at the photograph.
yeah, it is. So I mean, and I was in the bottom of some of the frames, but I just have the clean shot of the bottle without me in it, and then it's just really easy to, blend me out of there. So
Yeah. So do you have a trigger while you're doing this?
I use a remote release from Amazon. It's like the RFN 4TX or something. It's like $70 or $80 or something like that. I don't know, but it works nice.
Oh,
And
those are really nice. They've got like intervalometers on them.
this one doesn't. It's just a
Oh,
straight
does it?
trigger.
Oh yeah, I have one that's got intervalometer on it, so I can set it to take a picture every like 10 seconds or something.
Yeah, my D800 will just do that by itself without a trigger. So
Yeah,
I
but you
don't
have
know.
to be next to your camera. See, with this one,
Yeah,
I can
that's
be away from the camera. I can
yeah.
do everything remote. Yeah, those electronic triggers are great, guys. Better than
Did you,
phone,
is
I
this
think.
what camera did what camera were you using?
D800.
Yeah.
And what's nice about
Some of
this
these
trigger
triggers
is,
are specific to different cameras.
yeah, this one works for different brands, but what's nice about the Nikon cameras is they have that front 10-pin remote port on it. So this literally is just like a little receiver that screws into that, and then you just have the trigger. And so it's like a really nice compact setup. You can literally leave that receiver just screwed onto the camera. It's so small, it doesn't really get in the way.
Yeah, I got a similar thing for Fuji, but I haven't been that good at it yet. So yeah, it'll go up to 30 feet remote.
Yeah, I have no idea what the range on this is. It's like 30 or 60 feet or something it says. I never tested it, so. And of course, that depends on interference and all sorts of things too.
Yeah, no, that was my biggest thing. How do you get behind it to throw it? So you had a plenty of room to do.
Well, I just crouched down and tossed it and then had to, not worry so much about getting messy because I did. And the hard thing with that too is if you're triggering it yourself and tossing yourself, it's very hard to have the discipline to throw, wait, then hit the trigger and not just do it all simultaneously and then you're way early on it.
Right.
which was the biggest challenge I had. Most of my errors when I missed the splash were all early, not late, because I just kept wanting to sympathetically at the same time press them both. And so that it would have been easier if someone else was throwing and someone else was hitting the trigger.
Yep.
You look cleaner than I did, from what I can see from your BTS. When I did my first Swiss splash with the red one, was like, you know, like I have killed someone there.
Yeah, it looked like a murder scene. Like I have a piece of white glossy acrylic as a reflector, and I had to keep wiping down because it was just getting covered.
Were you wearing a wetsuit when you did this with all that?
No,
stuff
I
flying
was
around?
just wearing old clothes that I didn't really care too much about, and it's just flour and food coloring, so it washes out
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, that's great. I like it. Thank you.
Stuff.
John,
Yes.
sorry, before we go on to this photograph, I was just wondering about Josh's red bottle photograph. Could we just go back and have a quick look at that so as I can ask about the reflections and stuff?
Which one?
Just the actual shot, yeah.
This one?
Yeah, so where the white reflection things are, they're okay. They're coming from the lights and stuff, are they? The white
White
boards
is
or
a
whatever they are.
this is a softbox here, and this is a big white card.
Right.
The softbox and the white card. That's the
And that-
softbox.
And that's kind of what you're looking for in a.
Uh-huh.
All right, because I wasn't sure what I was looking for. I did start with a Heinz bottle at one stage and gave up.
Yep, that's
I
kind of
wasn't
what we're,
sure.
yep.
I wasn't sure what I was looking for,
You
so I
see-
just gave up.
The information that this gives us is more than just lighting up the bottle. So you see how sharp the edge is from the reflection to the bottle?
Yeah.
It's very sharp, right? That tells us it's a glossy bottle, because look at this. This label is not glossy, and the highlight
Yeah.
disappears.
Right.
Like,
okay.
where's the highlight? Well, this texture is rough.
Different, yeah.
Yeah, so it changes it out. Yep, and the same
Okay.
thing in the cap. The little roughness in the cap doesn't let it. So we as human beings have been on the planet long enough. We learn to see. We know instantly, without anyone telling us, that this is a very shiny glass bottle
Okay.
because of the way the highlight works.
Right, great, because I wasn't too sure what I was looking for either.
There you go.
So that didn't help. So that it was good that actually came up. It was perfect. Thank you.
Well, I mean, it was a plastic bottle, but it was very glossy.
Yeah, very glossy.
And the label reflected it a little bit, the highlights a little bit more, and I kind of used levels and dehaze to kind of make the label not so like
yeah, I can see it down here. We got a little
washed out.
in here.
Yeah. But I mean,
The
I was
label
actually
probably
surprised.
has an enamel over it.
Yeah, it had something over it.
Yeah.
Very great. Thanks, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did I
Jerry,
miss my critique?
Jerry, what we got?
Hi, Don.
Why?
Yeah, I had fun with this.
The background looks like it's in black and white, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a texture that I added afterwards in post.
Oh, okay. Nice. Nicely done. We got water everywhere. How are you getting the water around the can at the bottom?
So what I did first is I tried to set up a funnel behind the can, but I just couldn't get it. It was too weak. So I ended up then changing the setup a little so I could start throwing water at it. So there's probably about 3 shots in that. And I guess some of the water out the front is where I missed the can.
All right. Well, that's cool. It looks very good. You got a nice highlight coming down here. I personally, is this multiple shots in Photoshop, or is it one shot?
It's multiple shots, yeah.
It's multiple shots. Is this on its own layer?
Yes.
I'd take that one out.
Okay.
It's so far forward that it's so out of focus. It's hard for us to see past it to the can. I'd just take that out and let the can be here because this is nice. This is great. If you didn't have anything else in here, just the can and this splash down here would be kill. It'd be very, very cool. I like that. I just saw that. Damn, that's pretty good.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's nice. Your highlight looks good. Your can really does look good. Where you've placed your highlights can read very well. The colors look good. Yeah, I think you went a little overboard on the splashes.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is Irish cider.
Yes. Yeah.
So we know that it's got liquor in it.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Oh, nicely done, sir. There's your shot, all your plastic. You got the white card up front, so you're lighting the white card. Am I correct?
Yes, you can just see over the top of it there. Yeah.
Okay, lighting the white card, and that's lighting up everything. And then we've got these side lights here that are the two side lights that you see there.
Yes, and there's a scrim in between them.
Yeah. So who was it that I was talking to with the bottle with the little highlight on front? Was that Catherine? No, that was.
Yes, that was me.
It was you? See, this
Yeah.
is another way to get rid of it. We light that
Yeah.
big board up here, and then you put your lights on the side, and you get that light. You can do the same light board over your camera. You can do the same thing with dark field lighting, which is what you did with the light coming on both sides of the black card. You can do the same thing. Get that board up here, put a little light into that board, and then the whole board lights up. So you get a nice big smooth highlight that we can't hardly even see, rather than that little point source from the speed light.
Yeah, I actually tried it first. I had that light at the back. I hadn't got the card up, so I tried front lighting the label, but it was just too hot, so that's why I changed to that.
Got it. Where do you live, Jerry?
Ireland.
Ireland. I watch very little TV, but when I do watch TV in the evenings, lately it's been British TV.
Okay.
Do you know that show Shetland?
Shetland.
Shetland.
No.
It's it takes place on Shetland Island. It's a cop show, right?
Okay.
I've very seldom seen that high quality of television show in my life. From the writing to the acting to the visual, the art direction and everything. It's available on it's available on the BBC. So check it out. I'd say that for anybody here in the States. It's available on BritBox, but it just knocked me out. It's so good. All right, nicely done, sir. All right, next up is Jay.
Oh, huh. Good. Hi. Actually, I did two. This is the first one, and then there's another one at the last one. And so this one was a composite of, there are a bunch of splashes, and I did the puppet warp to move them around, which was really interesting. It was the first time I've ever used it, so that was a good opportunity to learn that. And then the bottle was shot separately, and the background put in separately. So it doesn't have a splash look to it, but there are real splashes. And the other one, which is at the bottom, is more after this one. After, is there one after this? I thought there was. I thought it showed up. No, it's not the grapes.
Nope. Is this you? No, that's Mildred's.
No, that's. I thought it showed up. I'm sorry. I put put it in. Anyway, so the other one is an actual clear splash, which is a beautiful splash, but it's just one line that goes across the back.
Okay, and the bottle is just photoshopped in, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So otherwise, the light, the reflections on the bottle are really tough to
Something is
do.
not working for me on the shot. And I don't know what it is. The only thing I can think of is that for some reason, the lighting on the bottle is not matching what I'm seeing back there. It doesn't look like it's naturally there. It shouldn't, I don't think it should look photoshopped. I don't think it should look photoshopped. I think it should look sort of like it's there, but there's something going on here, Jay, and I don't know what it is. I don't know. It could be little things like highlight here or that highlight, and we got highlights in the liquid, but I can't tell where the light's coming from in the liquid necessarily.
Well, the liquid was moved around a lot.
Okay.
So that the light would be different.
Yeah.
From the original when it was moved around, the direction changed.
Okay, and that's your setup. All right.
Right.
Yeah, something's not working for me, Jay. We'll let's put it up on Facebook and see what we can come up with. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, good. Mildred, liquid made with flour, water, and food coloring. Wow.
Yeah.
I love your little splash. Mildred, I think your shot is here. You know?
Yeah, Don, I was going to crop it there.
Uh-huh.
I just left it because this shot, I mean, this was something that I was learning from. This is probably everything that Josh fixed on his is lacking here. So this probably could have been put up with Josh's picture and maybe show like the difference. Like my liquid was lighter in consistency. This is actually a real shot. I threw it in there. This made the biggest mess in the world. The background is done really poorly because this is not my thing, but I learned a lot from it. So I put it up. It's not a portfolio shot by no means, but I certainly did learn all kinds of things from this one. And then hearing some of the critique from Josh and stuff, that I will definitely be doing this again. But
cool.
This is probably everything that's messed up on the other one.
Yeah, I love your splash. I think there's a lot going on here. I don't think you got it with this shot, but you are well on your way.
Definitely didn't get it now, Don.
Yeah.
Definitely agree, totally. But I thought it was just something to show and learn from.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Keep playing with this flour and water thing. That looks like a good idea. It's a very good idea. Asha.
Hey, Don.
Hi, Asha. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. How about you?
Good. So it looks like a big dose of water hit the back of the grape.
No, it was not a big dose. It was a pan.
Well, it's coming through the grapes, right?
That's right.
That's so cool. That's very, very cool.
That's why I wanted to use the grapes. I went and bought them for this.
Yep. Very good. Let's look at your lighting. We have your lighting here. Okay, so you've got, was this a strip light?
That's a softbox.
Softbox. Oh, okay. I see. Softbox here. Softbox, white card, and then there's obviously there's a light.
There's a flash behind, yeah.
Yes. Nice and bright. What did you do in post? Can I ask?
It's only in Lightroom.
Okay.
So
I would have you do this.
Mhm.
See the brown in there? I'd have you go in Lightroom and green that brown up. Leave this, that's fine. But these little brown areas pull our eye because there's only 2 of them. If there were 15 of them, we wouldn't bother with it. It's only 2 of
Okay.
them. I'd brush them and bring out the green a little bit more.
Okay.
And then I think overall with this shot, I think I would pop the contrast on this quite a bit. So these grapes
Okay.
just really popped off the background. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
More contrast, maybe more structure. Once you've got it to that point, fix that grape and that grape. Maybe that grape. I don't think there's any that others that may.
In fact, I did a little bit of the frequency separation. I used
Yeah.
that on Photoshop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. So I cleaned up quite a bit. I think there were a few more
Yep.
remaining.
Just a little bit more to go and you've got it made. I think everything that's here you could probably do with a healing brush. I don't think you'd have to go as far as
Okay.
a healing brush should do everything you needed to do. And then just really make them pop. Cool
Okay.
shot.
Thank you.
Yeah, well thought out.
Thank you.
There, that's the second. That's the second.
Oh, okay. All right. That the bottle is warped, Jay. What's going on with that?
It's actually it's rotated.
No, it's warped up here. Look at this cap going up there and then down over here. It's
Okay, I see what you're saying.
got a weird thing to it. Is this a real wide angle lens?
No, well, I have to look at. I think it is right up here. I mean, it's at the bottom end of it. So
Yeah,
the
bottom
wider.
looks good. Yeah, bottom looks good. I think your label looks much better on this one.
It's
Yeah.
brighter.
Yeah. Dangerous doing this glass stuff outside, man.
Yep.
Got clouds and all kinds of stuff up here. Cool. It's got to pop it, a little contrast into it. Yeah. All right.
Okay, well, yeah, this one I just did. I composited the bottle on top of the bottle that's originally there. So the original one didn't have the distortion, but this was a cleaner bottle, so give it a shot. All right.
Good.
Hey, Don.
Yeah.
Sorry, I stepped out and missed my shot.
Yeah. Let's see.
All right. Yeah, this is a 3-image composite. Clean background, bottle, and a splash. Basically it's 4 lights set up. Backlit with a red gel for the flash. 2 strip lights with a scrim in the front of them. And a snoot for the label. And this, because when I look at the assignment, it said I have to play with colors. So I thought, what could be more dramatic than black, white, and red? And since I have this old bottle, that's what I shot.
So is this, you don't have a background shot behind the scenes, right?
I do.
Oh, there it is. That's right. We looked at that.
Okay. Yeah, I had my.
Very nicely done. Very sophisticated dark field lighting, essentially. You're just using lights from the side. You don't have that backlight coming in.
No. I don't have a large enough softbox to do that, so I had to use strip lights.
That's fine. And you've got a red gel SB910 behind the bottle, correct?
Behind the bottle, pointed at the camera.
Yeah, coming right through the bottle.
Right. Yeah, that was, I think, at 85 zoom had position.
Okay. And what's your what's liquid are you throwing at it? Because you're certainly not
that is colored liquid. That's food coloring.
All right.
That's because I had to match the color of the bottle. I mean the liquid in the bottle. So it took me time to actually get the color to match. And I added the strip lights on the side because if I didn't do that, it was just too dark. I needed that to create contrast on the bottle itself, because the bottle itself is textured. Right? It has texture on it. Whatever texture you see on it, that's on the bottle. The bottle is not soft, smooth. So
Yeah.
and I wanted the water to have some kind of ballet because I couldn't just do it like, regular splash. Because for me, this is product first with splash rather than splash just with product on it.
Yeah, you got a nice line going through here on your splashes. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
Those lines come through very nicely.
Yeah, I was lucky with that. I was using a small shot glass because I started with a regular coffee cup and it was just all over the place. So to control it, I had to use like a shot glass and just throw in the shot glass with more control.
Very good.
Thanks.
Very good. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you did great. This is fun stuff, and but it's challenging stuff, isn't it?
Yep.
I think
Definitely.
I think the difference is, and we all love to go out and we always say we go out and take pictures, right? We really go out and make pictures. At the level that this class is in, you're making pictures. We're not just standing there and taking them. And then you get to something like this, and the thought processes start to become more and more layered on top of each other, because now we're dealing with finite distance, finite lights, et cetera, et cetera. We want the splash to go here. And life isn't going to just guarantee us that the splash is going to go there. Going to have to work it. And I think that a lot of photographers who've never done this work before, it will it'll make you a better landscape photographer to do this. Because it's just like going to the gym and pumping the muscles in your arms. We're pumping the muscles on how to make a photograph and think about things like horizon lines and angles of the light and stuff. Whether you're shooting a bottle in the studio or you're finding the best shot of a creek up in Colorado, it's the same processes. So I'm really glad you guys came along for the shoot. We are indeed going to do after this class is over, we'll take a little bit of a break, and we're going to do a portrait class. So, start thinking about it, start thinking about lining up some friends and family that you could use, but that's going to be a blast.
Hey, Don, question?
Yeah.
The next assignment, I know it's not open yet, but does it have to be a drop on clear water, or it can be a solid liquid?
Oh, it could be anything. It is. No, this is not water. Not mandatory water. Not at all.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Sure.
Just wondering.
Thank you, Don. There was a lot to digest in this one.
I'm going to. And by the way, for those Photoshop users, if you don't know Blend If you don't know how to do Blend If, you're going to be knocked out by how amazing Blend If is in photography, and you're going to wonder why you've never used it before. So you get into these videos pretty well. So yeah, here's we could drop in a strawberry into milk, drop in, it's all kinds of stuff. So
I'm looking forward to the Blend If because I've tried it a couple of times
and
I can see the potential, but I still have to figure it out.
Oh yeah, I have a cheat sheet. I can't remember it in my head, but I want to use it enough that I do. You guys will be, you can take the water, you can take the splash off a black background with BlendIF.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, take it right off and put it on another background with BlendIF.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is a dream come true.
it's really powerful. All right, guys, everybody have a great rest of your weekend. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Don.
I have
Thanks to
do my-
Don and everyone else for getting their stuff together.
Yep. I'm going
Thanks,
to do my
Don.
very short commercial for those of you who are interested in pursuing this further. Project 52 starts enrolling in June. Open to everyone. You guys will have options in May to enroll. We only take 15 people. That's it for the summer enrollment. So it's a small group, but it's a mighty group. And if whether you want to be a weekend warrior or actually think that you might want to make some money with this stuff, Project 52 will do it. It's a full year class. Some of the people in here, Kevin Carson, Jay, Arnold, Joe, Lee is currently in it. Marjorie, you've been in Project 52. Mildred's Project 52. Mark Shaw. So, and Terry McDermott too. So there's a lot of people. There's a lot of work happening out there. When you go online and you see people on Facebook whining about there's no work for photographers, there's no work for them because they're too busy whining about it. There is work. It's really fun to see it. By the way, if you don't know, I've created an agency. That's right.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Visual Media Strategy is open. We are taking basically working. This is an agency to represent the Project 52 photographers. Okay, we're going to be working with clients, bringing jobs to the photographers. We've got our mentees signed up right now, but now it's open to the rest of Project 52. You can find the photographers by what they specialize in up here. So tabletop, for instance, you find a good tabletop photographer near you. We got Kansas City, we got Salt Lake City, etc. And we're really pushing the fact that the photographers are trained and they're experienced. And then we're going to be advertising out to the world with Google Ads. We got a sharp SEO company coming in, and really going to try to get work for the photographers for Project 52. It's been something that's been on my mind for far too long, and now we're going to go after it. We've already gotten 2 inquiries already, and the site's not really even quote live. We haven't announced it, so things are happening. And now on that, everybody have a good one. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Don.
Bye.
Thanks, Don.
Bye, Don. Thanks.
Thank you.